Hi everyone. So today I'm going to go over how I made one of my songs called Limerence. A few months back I did one for a song called Thank You and people seemed to like it, so I figured I'd do another one. Um, I chose this one because it's a very long process towards getting the final result and took years. I came up with the idea in 2021, February 2021, and it's kind of sat around for a bit and until there was a spark that kind of reignited this song and maybe revisit it and became what it is now. Which um, for a long time it was just an instrumental idea. And um, in 2021, I had a loop pedal my mom gave me. It's this tiny little mini looper with like one knob and one button, and all you could do is make a loop and stack loops over top of it. And I was using that to try to make chord progressions to kind of noodle over like practice my scales and stuff. And at one point, I came up with this sort of arpeggiated chord progression that I really liked, and so I was like, oh, let me unplug the loop pedal from my amp. Let me put it into my interface and record it really quick before I forget this idea. And from there, I layered another layer, which is a lead guitar, and I even had a little drum beat in the DAW and a bass line, and this is what I came up with that day. Just play it here. And I was trying different keys out, trying to see what sounds best. I felt like there was something there. I like pitched it up to G minor from E and F minor. And then I was like, oh, what if I tack it on to the end of a song? I had a really long song I was working on, and during the lockdown that I didn't really have you know didn't know where it was gonna go. I was like, maybe I could tack this on at the very end. So then I retracked it all with not coming out of the loop pedal anymore, but plugging straight into the interface. I added some keys, some synths, and this is what I came up with here. So at the very end of this song. Yeah, but that song sat just like for a while. I didn't know what to do with it. There was no lyrics, and I felt like it wasn't finished till I had some a vocal melody or something. And flashback to now, like 2025, I'm compiling songs for an album, and um, And I'm on TikTok at one point, and my friend Riyadh has a sort of showing a pedal he got, and it's a really awesome guitar part that. And I just remember like hearing that, I was like, oh man, I wish I wrote that. That's like so beautiful. And um, I feel like Riyadh read my mind after I commented that, and he was like, oh, feel free to sample it if you want. I was like, what? Like really? Like okay. Like I was like already hearing something in my head, and so I was like, let me try a bass line, and this is a few months back I came up with this. And at first I didn't really think to mash this up with um, the that 2021 funk jam thing I did on the loop pedal, but um, I don't know at what point I was like, oh, the chord progressions are pretty similar. Let me see if they would work. And so then I went to the DAW. I had to time stretch that a little bit, so um, I ended up slowing that down a bit. This is like Riyadh's guitar, which is just captured from the browser. Put a little bit of effects on it too. Some echo, some like a fast kind of delay. And the bass line, which also I slowed down. And so I slowed it down to the tempo to match the rest of the instrumentation. And it worked. I was like surprised. I was like, oh, wow, like there's. I added these congas that were sort of YouTube loop. I could have recorded. I have some bongos, but I don't trust myself with the proper technique for bongos. And then I added live drums here instead of this is the drum loop here. There's a kick drum. So I played the drums here, but then I muted them to give it a slower build and just kept the kick drum solo close mic up into here. Then I also added this classical guitar here too that I think really helped instead of the electric. It's one of my favorite parts of it. Hear the drum solo. At the point where that synth lead comes in, I figured that let me have the drums kind of close mics drop out, do a room mic thing here in this section. I'll bring up the rooms, mute everything else, and that's during the synth lead here. I was surprised that my initial bass line didn't clash with the new bass line. There's two bass guitars going at the same time. Where's the bass? Right here. And this bass line actually is a guitar that I pitched down like a whole octave, and I kind of ducked some low end just because there's two basses, just so there's not too much muddy bass. And then from there, the lyrics just came along really quickly. Like just the words just came out really easily. And when I write verses, I sometimes try to keep it minimal, like not too wordy, and so I just ended up having like a verse and a second verse and no chorus. Just the hook is just the instrumental, and um, that I kept the vocal very simple melody wise too, just kind of imagining like a jazz singer like Chet Baker or something, just like, and soft kind of spoken vocal, and this is what I came up with. I need you like air, and I'm choking. A little delay on the vocals, like a ping pong, so it sounds really spacious, kind of like. Always checking my phone. Some like subtle for any sign that you still love me. Automation of the echo. Just, I don't think I can come back from this. It almost sounds like you're on water or something. To the I have that acoustic layer with the electric. There's the electric and this is the acoustic. Burning me like fire. These scars won't heal anytime soon. Here's the Rhodes, and this was recorded in 2021, so this is before I even had my actual Rhodes. This is just a plug-in. This is piano doing this little chromatic walk up here, just doing octaves. So that's Limerence. Yeah, that, like I said, that hearing that clip of my friend Riyadh on that the Chase Bliss pedal was really impressive. I was like, just so dreamy, and like that kind of reignited a spark at this song, and I was able to finally finish it. I hope you enjoy that.